All right. I mean, sitting here working on this drawing, trying to get the details right, clean up my drawing because obviously, as you can see, it's a very messy scrawl of a drawing. Uh, I'm trying to get my life together on this. Just, I need to add in a bunch of stuff like in the distance and clean up some of this stuff over here. I mean, look at this. It's like messy and goopy and stuff. But at some point, it's gonna get fixed because this has got to go for a children's book, and I'm kind of like, all right, I want to make it into trying to apply to grad school. If I want to make it into grad school, I gotta actually do it right, you know. It's supposed to be like a little tiki warrior here. What am I saying, tiki warrior? That's terrible. Um, definitely like you ever seen those statues from like World of Warcraft or whatever? Where they're like these huge statues in front of these castle openings and sort of like majestic. Yeah, it's supposed to be like that, but really tiny and really in the background. Um, so I'm just trying to get my life together here. Man, it's way too big. I'm just gonna I'm not gonna really be checking for that anyway. But she's supposed to be female. I try to make it a point to balance things out. Usually these things are like men in warrior costumes, big armor and stuff. With all the statues, I wanted to represent a little bit of, you know, gender neutrality, so to speak, and then also I'm just trying to make this a more equal society sort of thing. For underwater creatures, everyone can be a warrior. Everyone sort of has armor, and in some cases, since the world has magic for the Ellis series, which is what I'm working on, some of it is definitely like, hey, some of them are magicians. They have books and they're scholars. They deal in the realm of magic. They don't necessarily deal in the realm of physical combat, and that's okay too. Those people are respected in this sort of underwater fish society, mermaid society. Yep, just trying to get this fleshed out a little bit. It's a very slow process at this point. I kind of did like the rough sketching, and I had to do the clean sketching. Oftentimes, I'm not saying I'm actually any good at this, but sometimes what happens is I'll just like I'm just sitting here cleaning up a drawing. I'm not necessarily going in and redrawing, which is totally a viable option. Just sit here, make a new layer, and then just draw it nice and clean on the second layer. And sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. Just depends. So for this, I was like, looking at the Indian pictures of the Indian Ocean and stuff. It was actually bluer in a lot of the photos, and part of that is how they color corrected. I kind of went with more like seafoam green, something happy. In this scene in the book, they're like first discovering this underwater world. Like they come from above, they get spat out into like this ocean area, and they dip underwater, and they're like, "Wow, what's going on down here?" In the last Ellis series book, or the first one, I should say, it was sort of the same thing. It's like, oh, this is normal, and then all of a sudden they like go down a beaten path, and it starts leading to all this different looking stuff. And so we're trying to bring that element back into, at least I know I am. I'm trying to bring this element back into here in the second installation of the book. So I'm kind of excited to see that, and I'm hoping to bring some of that, you know, sort of like discovery aspect. I think that's the coolest thing, you know. Yeah, as a little 6-year-old, he's like, well, I think he's 7 now. He's reading much bigger books at this point, but um, he comes up with these concepts. He's like, the last one's just like, I want to be underwater, and here's a drawing of a water bike. Go. I'm like, you're 6. Like, I'm really, really freaking happy that this like a 6-year-old gets to get a story the way he wants to. You know what I mean? Um, and it's awesome to see Cerise support her son in that way. I think this is sort of the path for creating new and different things. Sort of including them in the process and not necessarily, making it and then giving it to them. A lot of the media that we're consuming nowadays, with Netflix around, is all in our control, so to speak. Like, I don't really want to watch commercials, and I want to watch some decent shows, so I hop on a Netflix, or I got a date, so I want to chill, and, date with my wife, So we watch Netflix and figure out what we want to see. Maybe we're not going to go to the red box every week. We go somewhere. We go on Netflix. We watch a good show. You don't have to worry about commercials or anything. It's nice. You're the power. You're control over the kind of stories you want to see. And it's always nice to see, characters in the particular thing I'm working on, characters of color. How many children's books have children of color as the lead characters of the book? Sure, they're in there. You get the whole tokenism that's going, but you got a whole chocolate family. You got the American family. We have side characters that come in all races and shapes and sizes, and try to reflect the world we actually live in, and not necessarily just like, hey, give them what they're always getting. Seem to like it, just keep giving it to them. Try to expand people's horizons a little bit, I don't know. Just seems like the right thing to do. But it is what it is. Anyway, I should leave this page. I don't know how I share this. This is like my first time streaming, and I'm realizing like, oh, I probably should like try to share this with people, so that people might want to like, check it out. It's cool when it's on YouTube or whatever. But I've been trying different streaming services, trying to get a feel for how they work, you know, all that jazz. Like, where the hell? Like, I'm on the YouTube. I'm trying to figure out where's the link to share this out. Look at that. Where the hell? I'm on the YouTube. I'm trying to figure out where's the link to share this out. Look at that. Oh, they have like a live chat feature. Okay. I get you now. That's pretty neat. Can I share? Who would be watching this right now? It's a crazy little streaming room. How the hell do you share? some crazy options too. Yeah. It's just sort of, it's kind of interesting. Not really, but sort of. How do you share this? Like, where the hell is it? So you can, like, view on watch page. Aha! Here we go. So I'm not echoing. Alright. Sweet. Um, yeah, so, I don't know. So yeah, trying to get more into illustration. Um, actually applying to grad school, which people have been telling me not to do. They're like, man, you're good enough. Like, you'll be alright. Just keep doing more jobs and you'll be good. Like, it'll be a waste of money for you to go to grad school. And all I keep thinking is like, I spent like not four, like 3 years, like just trying to do my own thing on my own. I've just realized like I don't know the industry. I don't live in California right now. From New York, so it's not like I don't know what that industry is there, but I want to work for DreamWorks. I want to work actually not for DreamWorks specifically, um, or you know work. I want to try to pitch my own stuff to like Nickelodeon or Adult Swim or Kid, what was it? Kid Robot. Some I want to work somewhere interesting, and I want to kind of break away from what I've been doing, which is kind of working on the side on stuff. Not that I don't appreciate this. I love this stuff. Like I love working on this type of stuff, and it would be odd of me to say anything otherwise, really. But what I'm trying to do a bigger thing, and when I went to college the first time, I went to undergrad. I studied 3D animation, and at the time I had like no clue what that even was about. I kind of just wanted to study it because it was cool as fuck back then, and I wanted to explore. And I was young, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I was like, all right, explore a little bit, figure out what you want to do. You can draw a little bit. You've always kind of been drawing. Maybe you want to do something more with that. So, yeah, I did the obvious thing of doing 3D animation as my major, which my school at the time wasn't really big on like drawing, and really couldn't stand that I was like massively obsessed with anime at the time. And not that I'm not obsessed with it now, but I'm grown, so I've grown a little bit, expanded my palette. But at the same time, I'm trying to continue to expand my palette. I kind of figured out and got better at sort of drawing on my own, not necessarily because of the school, but because like I would be with all my friends and we're all trying to pick up this software. We're trying to learn Maya in Studio Max before Autodesk bought it, and we were just trying to figure stuff out. We was always in the lab working on shit, and you know, my whole thing was like, how could I be a good animator without understanding how to draw? And a lot of people who were in school with me were like, yeah, I mean, true, but like, you're dealing with 3D software, it's gonna kind of make up for some of that. And I'm like, dude, if you can't draw it, like, you don't have the vision for it. And so I was always like preaching that. I was like, dude, no, I'm gonna fucking get better at drawing. Not to say that look at these little scribbles here, they're terrible, but just trying, trying to get better. And so I'm going to grad school now because I kind of walked away from doing this type of work full time as a full time job. Full time job is as a UI designer, and I'm not gonna say I don't like it. I mean, I love it. I've done it for like 10 years almost. You know, it kind of started out as web design, and I kind of grew into doing design for interfaces, and it's totally a viable job, and it's a growing industry right now. And I got people looking at me like, "Are you basically crazy trying to walk away from something that's a growing industry?" But it's sort of like it's like you're going through the motions with it. Like, okay, you got to think about the end user. Okay, you got to design stuff, iterate, iterate, iterate. It's very similar to this stuff that I'm working on right now, where you know I didn't get the drawing right the first, second, third, or fourth time, and I try, know, but it's very similar. So in that regard, that is part of the reason I went into it because I could see the similarities. But now I'm like, I've, I kind of still want to hit my bucket list, so to speak. Like when I was in my, you know, early and mid 20s, I was like, dude, I'm going to have a cartoon on TV. Like, it's gonna happen. I refuse to go through life without having that happen. And I walked away from that to try to, find a sense of stability. I don't have that story like other people do, where they're like, yeah, man, I struggled for like 20 years, and then I finally had my rising phoenix moment. It's like, nope, I ain't had that. I had I graduated from college, and my wife was like, we getting married, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I love you to pieces. Let's do that. And sure enough, it was like, you move out, you got to pay bills, you got to get stable, you know, you're trying to have a lady, you got to. Chris Rock is so right about lifestyle. Like, you don't want to go backwards in lifestyle. Like, women do not want to do that. And so, I tried my best to make sure we always moved forward in lifestyle. And part of that was me sacrificing trying to go into this sort of career. They didn't see how I could make money doing this stuff at the time. I didn't have experience. Everybody was asking for like 5 years experience. And I was like, I've only been out of college like 2 years and I've been a graphic designer. How the hell am I supposed to, like, what kind of bullshit is that? You need 5 years experience to to do something, and then you're fresh out of college and you're like, well, how do I get the 5 years if every job is asking me for 5 years experience? And so I just didn't want to deal with any of that. I was like, fuck that. So I was just like, all right, I'm gonna try to make you know web design work. Like, seriously, I took a class in college, like one class in college, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have an existential breakdown, which I think a lot of people went through their quarter life crisis. Um, and I was like, the economy's not right. I'm gonna try to, eke it through, not get caught up in all this no job drama. So I'm trying to get me a job. I ain't trying to be out here struggling and starving artists. There's no offense against people who are doing that work, and put in that time, but I just couldn't be the one to do it. So I'm just like, I'm trying to, I walked away, and then I'm like, I'm trying to walk back. So I got this whole plan of what I'm gonna do, but it's kind of been a plan I've been working on for the last 2 years. Of like, okay, do more illustration work on the side. Yeah, it's gonna be hard because you work 40, 50 hours a week, but you make it work, right? You make it work. And now I'm doing stuff. I'm working on books. It's not crazy. I think me making the decision to try again, make it sound like I'm trying to have a kid. You can try again? No. Yeah, the decision to try to go into this realm and do this type of work again has been very sort of cathartic. Is the word I want to use there. Um, I've always I kind of kept drawing long after college, but nothing came of it per se. Like, I was working design jobs, and I would always have my sketchbook. And if I was part of like really good design teams, um, the more I drew, because that's just I feed off of creative inspiration, people's creative energy. And so way back in 2009, I was working at Music Choice. They gave me opportunities to do like some illustration work here and there because I was always drawing anyway. So they were like, all right, well, let's give you a shot. And so people started to realize like you should be doing this. Like you shouldn't be doing design work. You're good at design work. You're good at web design. You know how to code. Like you have a brain for it, but you know your brain is better suited to this other stuff. And you might want to pursue that. Now, mind you, I'm drawing very slow. And I think it's because I'm talking. Normally, I'm super quiet. Like, and I usually have my headphones on, or I'm blasting music, but copyright, so you can't hear me blast no music. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, it's hard to draw and ramble. That sounds stupid, but it really is. Like, I'm having the toughest fucking time right now, trying to draw and ramble about my insignificant life. But I'm gonna give you more of my insignificant life. Screw that. I don't care. I'm gonna be a self-absorbed asshole. Yay. Yeah. So just I'm trying to live the goddamn dream, and it is not necessarily easy. I'm getting to the age now where like, my wife is like, we don't need to settle down at some point, and like I'm looking at a move to California at some point as being the last move. Like I ain't gonna move again, and I know my family's pretty bummed about this because my entire family's in New York. Well, let me not say my entire family is pretty much on the East Coast right now. All the way up and down it, but they're on the East Coast. So if I move to the West Coast, I am the only Garay in the West Coast. And it's kind of scary for me. I'm kind of big on family. Like, I love them. I can't stand them, but I love them. And I can't. My brother's got 3 kids, and I want, if I have my kids, I want my kids to know his kids because me and my brother were so close growing up. And we were a big family. I kind of want to make sure I had that, but at the same time, this dream chasing is tough. It'll crush some other stuff, man. Um, I I want to be around my family, but then I also don't want to sacrifice any further what I've already kind of given up on and rediscovering. I just don't I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be able to go after my stuff. I'm going for it. Like this last 2 3 years, it's been slow going. Like I wish I could go faster. I think most artists probably wish they could go faster because then they just do more stuff, right? Um, but I can't complain about what I've actually done the last couple of years. Like, with a full time job, I'm like I've worked on my own comic book. I did 3 issues. Mind you, they're mini issues, but they're still issues. Put them out there, went to conventions, sold a bunch of them, which felt nice to just sort of see a reaction for something that I made that I was not trained in doing, but that people were like, no, you got a really interesting thing going on. And that was cool. And I'm kind of I want to get back to that once I'm done with these projects. But I've been mapping out sort of like, here's a litany of projects I'm going to do, and then I'm going to apply to school. Hopefully they'll let me in. Hopefully they'll give me some money to go with it because I'm not rich at all. I come from poverty, and hopefully, if and when I get in, I just want to hit the ground running. I want to be able to all right, hey professor, I know you're giving me an assignment. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do extra because I got this property I want to do called Jack B. Ride the Air, and I want to pitch that to a network. And in order for me to do that, I gotta make it real. And so I gotta be able to get my folio up, get my drawing skills up, get my speed up, do all that stuff. And I plan on doing that day one. Try to leverage some networks, which I'm very bad at. Like I'm terrible at networking. I'm the shyest guy there is. I really am. And the funny thing is, like, if you get me talking about this stuff, I could talk all day. But anything outside of this is just like, so I kind of I'm looking forward to this concept of like, all right, you know, you're gonna get a chance to be around like-minded people. Because right now in Pittsburgh, I'm not gonna say I'm not around like-minded people. It's just everyone's got their thing. Everybody's going for self, and it's just not the most welcoming atmosphere in Pittsburgh. Like, it's an odd thing. It's easy to kind of move up in art scene spaces and stuff like that because everyone's kind of starved for someone outside of the city to come in and like, do their thing. But at the same time, they get mad at you for doing your thing. And so I'm finding it very sort of perplexing. Like, I want to do animation and comic books, and people look at me like, "You want to do commercial stuff? Like, what are you doing?" And I'm like, I do. I actually do want to do commercial stuff. Like, I used to be a freaking bleeding artist who was like, yo, I need to do something amazing that's totally indie that no one's gonna understand but me. And it's gonna be amazing. And I really I had that moment for like a second, like 1 second. And then I thought about it for a minute. I was like, yo, like, I loved Static Shock when I was growing up. I loved it. And I loved it because it was that moment, like, you realize that there weren't many cartoons that had black guys or girls of color as the lead character of the show. And that had a profound sort of effect on me. Like, the things I'm doing now are almost directly related to that notion. Yo, I still don't see lead characters that are lead characters of color. They're coming up, they're starting to happen, but they're not mainstream. It's like, yeah, like I'll give the real argument. Like, that's cool that they changed Captain America, Sam Wilson to be Captain America, but at the same time, like, that's in comic books. And I know for a fact, like, if I wanted to make an impact on people long term, lifetime, think about people's own nostalgia. I think about cartoons. Cartoons is the way to go there. If you get them in the cartoon space, you got them for life. Like, they gonna remember that when they're 30 and 40, if they're 5 right now or 6 right now. And it'll be in their subconscious. It'll be in their psyche. And I was definitely not a little kid when I was watching Static Shock. Like, don't get it twisted. But it still stuck with me. Like, it still was like, all right, this is what I need to do. I need to do something on this scale. And so, Milestone and Dwayne McDuffie are like heroes of mine. Like, they're like, that's like Dwayne McDuffie. But, they kind of give me hope. Like, all right, there's going to be a point in time very soon where I'm going to be making stuff that it won't seem odd for there to be a lead character in these cartoons or in these comic books. It won't be like a big hoopla. I hope one day the white tears won't flow so heavily and so clearly. And I hope. We'll see where it goes, but I certainly hope one day that it won't be that bad. Yeah, one day. It ain't gonna be today though. Today I'm just trying to focus on, all right, get your shit together, dude. like dope shit. You concern yourself with, what position you're gonna be, and what riches you're gonna have. You're doing it for all the wrong reasons. Uh, that's what I've been hearing this whole time. I follow a bunch of other streams, and they all say the same thing. All the other artists say the same thing. Man, if you're doing it for like just for dough, you're doing it wrong. That's not to say don't get your paper. Please do get your paper, but at the same time, like, it's bigger than that. And that's all I'm trying to say too. Here, working on this terrible fucking drawing. It's just terrible. Actually, I shouldn't say that, but something I could do better. It's gonna take me time to get there. Though. I'm working on little details now. But yeah, just trying to feel like, all right, I got this. This can be done. It's not impossible for me. Like, that's a big deal. Because there was a point where I absolutely thought it was impossible for me to ever have a shot to do this type of work. And it really kind of came serendipitously. I did my comic book, and I met Cerise, and Cerise is the writer of this children's book. And the cool thing about it is, at first when she pitched it to me, I was like, a children's book? I don't know. Like, and then I really thought about, my ulterior motive, which is to brainwash people from their youth into their adulthood, aka build a sense of nostalgia by making something classic, right? And I was like, well, I mean, there's no greater opportunity than a children's book, right? Like, realistically speaking, if you get enough children to read your children's book, and it's a long game. It's like way down the road later, when they have children, they're gonna think about these books, and they're like, oh yeah, I remember I had a really awesome book that I loved. It's called Alice in the Magic Mirror, or Alice in the Sea Cave. And yeah, man, it was like really like crazy, sort of like sci-fi. And if in the future they're like that's what they're into, that's amazing. Like it sounds kind of like cheesy or whatever, but I just think that's amazing to have sort of a subconscious, sort of like long-term impact. People who spend their whole lives trying to figure out how to leave a mark in this world. And it'd be nice to sort of be able to say like, oh man, there's all these kids out there who grew up reading and looking at the pictures, and should the cartoon ever come out down the road, it'd be great to just see that sort of happen and have people kind of remember what that was. Absolutely amazing. I don't know if that'll happen. There's no reason they're not hoping. Right? No reason not to feel like, it can happen. Time, perseverance, grit. If we're just talking about grit, perseverance, the willingness to keep going despite what other people can tell you or feel about what you're doing. It's like, yeah, it's cool that you don't believe in me, but I'm just gonna believe in myself. And that's gonna have to be good enough until the rest of the world catches up. I just kind of like that concept, that idea. Yeah, I still got dreams. I know I'm a little older. It doesn't mean anything. I used to be obsessed with age, like so much, like not being able, like not getting to some form of success by a certain age. Like 30 was a big number for me, and then I turned 30, and I was like, well, what the hell was that for? Like, that didn't mean anything. And it's like, I have all these friends now who are a little younger than me, and they're like all hitting 30 now. And they're all like, Greg, oh my God, I'm hitting 30. Oh no. I was like, chill. Like, like I know nothing I say to you right now will convince you that, that it's okay, but it's okay. Like it's not that serious. You know, it's just another number, and the age only feels weird if you're harboring regrets. If you're not doing what you need to do uh, to make yourself happy, you know, find some form of success. If you're not doing those type of things, yeah, you're gonna be like, oh my God, 30, which is straight up what was happening to me when I was going through it. It's like I wanted to do this stuff, and you know, I was just in the beginning of like, okay, here's my plan. Here's what artwork I need to do, and you know, I applied to grad school back then on some. I'm turning 30, and I need to do something with my life because I'm just a waste of space. And I mean, that wasn't any of those things. I'm not a lazy person at all. But that's in hindsight. When it was going down, I totally felt like, why am I so why am I so goddamn lazy? Why am I not doing what I need to do? I could be doing so much more. And, you know, and I have a wife who like believes in me in ways that I just didn't understand until I was going through it. She was like, I'm so mad at you because you're so awesome and you're just not doing it. I'm like, lady, that's some self-absorbed stuff right there. Like, I can't be running around calling myself awesome. Like, what are you talking about? Um, I'm just, you know, I'm sitting here trying to like figure out how to pay bills, and I was laid off and like all this stuff. And she was like, but no, like you got this job, you're a web designer, and that's cool. But, like you could do so much more, and you know they don't even know that. Like, no one even knows like how ridiculous, like how your brain can operate and work and stuff. And I'm like, okay, you're gonna make me blush, and you're blowing my head up out of control. And I think you know, good wives do that. But you know, some of it stuck. I was just like, okay, I'm, yeah, all right. Like, I'll take you on your word for it. And like, at one point, like, it was like in 2013. Like, she she got real pissed at me. She was just like, fuck, dude. Like, you keep talking about how you know one day you're gonna do this thing, but you haven't. Like, when are you gonna go after it? Like, how are you gonna go after it? Have you really plotted it out? And I was like, yeah. And I was talking to her about like, oh, a lot of cartoons come from comic books and from other material to get ported over. And I was like, a lot of movies come from comic books. And I'd say that that's what I want to do because that was like a normal thought a couple of years ago. Like, yeah, just make a comic book and then it's going to turn into a movie. But that was never my real thought. But my thought was like, all right, you know, I need to be able to prove that this is like worth it. You know, like this story that I'm working on is of value. It's worth it. People should take a look. People, how am I going to convince a team to work on this stuff with me? And it's funny because I had pitched it to a bunch of my friends who I went to school with, like a couple of years after we graduated. It was like 3 or 4 years after, and I was like, "Yeah, I got this fucking idea, and it's amazing." and I pitched it just the way it sounds and how it's coming out of my mouth. It's just like, "It's amazing," and they were like, "Yeah, okay." They're like, "We know you're good, and we know your ideas are good, but like, I don't see how it's amazing. Like, you got to give me more." And I did this little storyboard. I did like on index cards, and like it was like I literally left it alone. I had a dinner with all my friends. It was like 12 of us sitting there, and I was talking to them, and I didn't have these cards yet. Like I didn't even think about. I just was explaining the idea. I was so excited about it, and I had been thinking about it for like 4 weeks before I even decided to try to talk about it. And they were just like, I don't know, dude. Like, I ain't got a job. It's a recession. Like, I don't think I'm gonna help you. I think I'm gonna try to stabilize myself. And I was like, you know what, bro? I get it, sis. I get it. I get it. I understand. You gotta pay your bills before you do any projects like this. I get it. Uh, but then it was just like, I did the storyboard and I tried to pitch it again to try to convince some people, and they were like, no, this is really dope. Actually, like this is really fucking dope, and I just wish I had a job so that I can then do stuff outside of the job, which is help you. And I was like, God damn it! And the thing about me was that I always had a job. I'm like a Jamaican. Like I had like 5 jobs all the time. When I was in college, I had like 3 jobs, and when I got out, I was like, I had a full-time job when I was out. It wasn't the greatest job, but I was getting paid. I was paying bills. I had to pay for my wedding. Like it was like, I was doing it too. So like, being that some of them were a little younger than me, I got it. I was like, okay, you're trying to do what I was doing like 2 years ago. You're trying to establish yourself. I get it. But then, like, like 2, 3 years went by. I kind of was like, man, I was like, I kept drawing the characters and refining everything because I can't stop. Like, I just can't stop. I wish I could, because then I wouldn't torment myself the way I do sometimes. But um, oddly enough, like I I started drawing all the characters out and doing like details and doing like character bios and doing action shots and all this stuff because I became obsessed with this thing. And after a while, I realized like, oh, I think I have some more to show people. And then I paused for a second, and that's when my wife had to argue with me. And I was like, I should go to New York Comic Con. I had been going since like it first started in the Javits Center like all those years ago, and I always wanted to do a table there, but I never really like had anything to table with. I didn't even know that's what you did. Like you had to go and get a table, and that's like had no clue how it worked on the other side of it. And I was like, all right, well, how the hell do I do that? And she was like, go to New York Comic Con and figure that shit out, Greg. Like, don't talk to me unless you're trying to figure it out. And I was like, damn, that's harsh, babe. But she was right. Like, she was just like so on point. And he was like, yeah, no, don't talk to me. Like, for real, don't talk to me about this. You're stressing me the hell out. Like, don't talk to me about this unless you're actually going to do something about it. And okay. Went to New York Comic Con 2013. I just walked around Artist Alley, walked around Small Press, and I was just asking a bazillion questions. Like, I was like, the thing is, I'm shy, so when I go to New York Comic Con, it's actually a really solitary experience for me. It sounds crazy when there's like hundreds of thousands of people walking around, but I go there and it's very quiet. Like I'll go with like one friend or maybe 2 friends, meet up with a couple other ones that are there because comic book heads and that's what we like. But it was always sort of like a quiet experience for me. Go take pictures. I'll draw while I'm there because I get inspired. Go hang out by like the Wickham Tablet area and try to flex and be terrible at flexing, right? Um, and then it would be like, all right, and that's the end of the story. This time I went and I was on a freaking mission. So I was hanging out Artist Alley for like a whole day and a half just talking to artists and trying to figure out like, okay, how long have you been doing this? I don't know the comic book industry like that, but I was asking questions like, okay, dude, how long have you been doing this? Like, can you name some of the things you've worked on? And okay, that's awesome. Like I see you got Thundercats on the table. That means you're a little more old school. Like we're closer in age. Thundercats was like my brother's favorite cartoon, older brother's favorite cartoon, and it was by inheritance mine too when I was very, very small. That and Transformers. So like I would have these conversations with them. Like, so how do you get the table? Like how much does it cost? Like I didn't even know that's what you got. Like I thought this was just like they call you in as a guest and then you're there and then some your company that you work for because you're a comic book artist pays for it. And that's not that far away from the truth. But I didn't realize Joe Schmo could actually like do it on his own if he had enough money to do it. And being sort of the I want to do shit my way sort of guy, um, I was like, well, okay, that means that I can actually get in to New York Comic Con as an artist and make a name for myself. It won't be immediate, but I can work and I can do it. And as a matter of fact, all the artists were so damn chill. They were like, yes. Oh, you want to get a table too? Man, look, you see why there's three of us here at this table? Because we split the cost three ways because it costs a lot of money. And I was like, you know what? All right, preach. Tell me how much it costs. And they were like, yeah, it's like $1,400 for like a table, a small table, like a 6 foot space. And I was like, all right, that's 6 foot space is not bad when you're by yourself. And so I was like, what is it like with all the people? And they were like, actually, it's kind of hellish. And like, there's never two of us at the same time in the space and all the stuff. I was like, all right, fair enough. I'll keep that in mind if and when I go and do it. And so the next year, I mapped out a whole like, all right, these are the conventions I'm gonna go to. And my second convention I went to was New York Comic Con, like to table. And I like filled out the form and I got in. And all my friends were like, yo, dude, you like did that, bro. Like you just like you did that. I was like, actually, it was not that fucking hard. And I didn't want to say it like that because people were like, yo, like afterwards they were like, yo, can you like get us in? I was like, yeah, you can get yourself in. Actually, it's not that hard. Um, but I got it. It was like, okay, you want something, you gotta go get it. Like nobody's gonna hand it to you. You gotta go get that shit. And it was nice to sort of follow through on something I wanted to do for so long, and it led to so much. Like it led to this children's book. I talked to a whole bunch of comic book artists that like who I still talk to right now. Who like every time they talk to me, they're like, "So yo, how's the book?" And I gotta tell them, "Oh man, I ain't working on the book," and they be sad at me, mad at me, and they be like, "No, Greg, you gotta work on the book. Like this is the trap. Don't fall into the trap." And I'm like, "All right, I won't fall into the trap," and then I fall into the trap because that's how it works. So yeah, yeah, like I don't know. I'm like people I talk to, but like you don't have to go to school. You can draw. You have relatively good concepts. You can write a little bit. If you don't know something, you can build on it. They're like you got a good foundation to work on. Just just trust in yourself enough to do it. And I'm like, I want the connects though, because I'm not about to be sitting around like not not achieving again. Like I can't do it again. It can't happen again. I'm determined. I want it. I want it pretty bad. And if I have to stay up late at night, which I normally do anyway, to get it done, I will get it done. Go work 5 jobs to get it done. Get it done. Nobody gonna give it to me, especially me. Um, sort of. I come from a long line of inner city people who, uh, you know, grew up in the Bronx and sort of have always grew up in the Bronx, grew up in poverty. Um, not super destitution. Like for a while it was like living in shelter for a little bit, but then like we climbed back up because that happens. These are just unfortunate moments in people's lives. So okay, that's what it was, and sort of grew up not having too much, but understanding the value of like cherishing what you have and making what you have work. And so, I'm just I'm big on that. I'm big on trying to move forward in that way. Like, all right, know what you got, know what you're trying to get to, and then go get it. Because ain't nobody gonna give it to you. So I feel blessed at this point because I think about things from way back when I was a kid, and it was like, man, we ain't gonna make it till we're 25 and stuff like that. And I mean, it wasn't. I never felt like that was true in my soul per se, but I mean, I knew folks who it was going to straight up be a problem for them to make it out the hood, make it off the block. And I was fortunate enough to make it out the block. And so, for that I feel blessed. Um, but at some point, um, at some point something got to change, something's got to give. I'm trying to get to that next level. My wife's like, "You gonna be and I'm like, I love you, boo. I do." And all of that confidence that you got it from me, I mean, I'm just gonna take and run with that because, I mean, what else can I do with that? I'm not gonna spit on that. That's stupid. You know, girl loves me to pieces. I love her to pieces. We take care of each other, and she sees me being this great person because I care about what I'm doing. And I want to continue to care about what I'm doing. And I'm doing it. Wow. Now what's funny is my computer is just fans are just going up. It's a brand new laptop. But I guess that's a testament to how bloated this software is. That is Photoshop. Like, I don't know. It just seems like it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. Anyway. Yep. Trying to live this life. Trying to live this life. You know what? I think I'm done testing this. I'm gonna go back to Facebook Live. We'll talk.